Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever Pursuing Points YouTube video. My name is Peter, and if you've ever listened to our podcast, you might be familiar with my voice. If you haven't yet listened to the Pursuing Points podcast, I would love it if you did. There will be a link in the description below. For my first ever video on YouTube, I wanted to start off with something that I'm pretty familiar with to sort of ease myself into this whole process. So for that reason, today what I'm going to talk about is the Chase trifecta. What is the Chase trifecta? Well, it's pretty simply explained. It is the process by which you acquire several Chase products, in this case 3, both to maximize your points earning and then combining the points that you earn to maximize your points redemption value. You could do this with just 2 cards, but for today we're going to talk about all 3, and I'm going to talk about it. Here are the 3 cards. I'm going to talk about it because this is actually the system that I use. And more often than not, when people, especially people at work or friends, family, when they say, Peter, what is the best credit card for travel, or what card should I sign up for? Most often, whatever recommendation I make, it comes back to the whole trifecta concept, right? So hopefully by the end of this video, whether you're a beginner or an expert, you'll have learned something. And then if you have follow-on questions, feel free to leave a comment. I plan to respond to as many as I humanly am able to. So to get started, let's understand that Chase has, for what I will call 2 tiers of credit card products. They've got their premium products and they have their non-premium products. A premium product would be the Sapphire Reserve, the Sapphire Preferred, or the Ink Business Preferred. Right, so these are cards which are considered premium by our standards because 1, they have an annual fee, and 2, the points that you earn can be redeemed for greater than 1 penny per point when you redeem for travel. So in the case of the business and the preferred, it's 25%, and in the case of the reserve, it's a 50% bonus. And we'll talk more about what all that means in a little bit. Non-premium examples would be the Freedom Unlimited, or some of the other Ink business cards, which the ones that don't have the annual fee. Okay, so now on these cards, there is no annual fee, and even though you can redeem the points for things like cash and gift cards and travel, it's always going to be at a rate of 1 penny per point. So 100 points, $1. If it's a $300 flight, it's going to be 30,000 points. No ifs, ands, or buts. So, and just as a side note, Ultimate Rewards, the Ultimate Reward point is Chase's currency, and those points are what you're going to be redeeming for things like cash and travel. If you're familiar with like American Express, they use membership rewards. Wells Fargo uses Go Far rewards. Citibank uses thank you points. It's just their individual currency programs. You don't have to get too hung up on it. Just understand that when you use any of these Chase cards, you're going to earn Ultimate Rewards points. And that's what you're going to be redeeming for travel or cashback or whatever. Second side note, if you are interested in earning points for the purposes of cashback, or you're not that interested in travel, I don't think that this is the best plan for you. Okay? I'll do more videos in the future about things you might consider, cards you might consider, strategies you might consider. For me, I want to redeem my points for travel, in most cases. I'm really not interested in all cash back. That's not to say that you shouldn't be or that it's wrong. It's just that that's not what those aren't my goals. So I think that this trifecta is the best for cash or for travel. But if you're looking for cash back, there's probably some better options for you. So let's talk about the 3 cards. We'll start with the Freedom. So the Chase Freedom earns 1 point per dollar on all purchases, except when those purchases are part of a bonus category, which change on a quarterly basis. Those purchases are worth 5x up to $1,500, which means you can earn as many as 7,500 Ultimate Rewards points per quarter with your Chase Freedom. Currently, the categories are tolls, gas stations, and drugstores, and they change every quarter, right? We don't know what they are for the rest of 2019, but that's what they are as of today. So basically the way the card works is you'll get an email from Chase saying, activate your Q1 rewards. You click a link, it takes literally 2 seconds. And from there on out, whenever you use your Freedom at one of those categories, you earn 5x. Perfect. And again, those points are redeemable for cashback, gift cards, travel, 1-to-1 ratio, 100 points, $1. Next, we'll talk about the Freedom Unlimited. The Freedom Unlimited is my workhorse card. It's the card that I use for any purchase that doesn't have a bonus category, right? So if it's not travel, it's not dining, it's not in the Freedom bonus category for that quarter, everything else goes on the Freedom Unlimited. The reason is that this card earns 1.5x on all purchases. So it doesn't have any categories, but it earns 1.5x everywhere. Again, it's redeemable for the same things that the Freedom is, cashback, travel, 100 points, $1. But where things start to get interesting is when we introduce one of the premium products. So what I'm about to talk about as far as combining points is applicable both for the Preferred, the Business Limited, and the Reserve. I personally, like I said, I have the Reserve. I signed up for it live on the podcast, which I think is still the most popular episode ever. So check it out if you haven't already. And for my money, the Sapphire Reserve is the best travel credit card that exists today. The reason why is that it earns 3x on travel and dining, which is where I spend most of my money. Now, if you don't spend a lot of money in those categories, it might not be the best card for you. The thing that I preach to people is not to chase short-term sign-up bonuses. I'm not really interested in churning. I've never done it, and I don't necessarily encourage people to do it. Instead, understand where it is that you spend money. Sign up for credit cards that will maximize those purchases, and then use those cards as much as you can while being able to pay off your balance in full every month. Right? If you have to pay interest, the points and the miles, none of that's going to be worth it. So anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. So 3x on travel and dining. It has a $300 annual travel credit, and it comes with Priority Pass lounge access. And the kicker for this topic is that it has a 50% bonus when you redeem your points for travel. Okay. Now that it does have a $450 annual fee. It may or may not make sense for you to sign up for that card depending on your situation, right? Now, when you factor in the annual travel credit at $300, the net annual fee for me is $150 because I always am able to make use of it. If you're unable to make use of it, the Preferred is probably a better option. But assuming that you can take advantage of the $300 travel credit, the Reserve, again, for my money, is the best travel card. So let's talk about that 50% bonus. What that means is that your ultimate rewards points, when you redeem them for travel, and again, travel is very broad. Could be rental cars, could be hotels, could be flights, whatever. When you redeem it for those things, they're automatically worth 50% more. What that means in practice is that $300 flight that would cost you 30,000 points with the Freedom now costs you 20,000 with the Reserve. So you can start to see how you can really wring out some value when you sign up for one of these premium products. But if you're wondering how does this all come together, it's pretty simple, and you may have already guessed it. You can combine the point balances of your non-premium products with your premium products, right? So you can take all of your Freedom and Freedom Unlimited Ultimate Rewards points and transfer them to your Chase Sapphire Reserve, which means that you're getting a 50% bonus on all that spend as well. Okay, so the Freedom Unlimited, where it earns normally 1.5x, effectively it earns 2.25. The Freedom, where it earns 5, effectively it earns 7.5. The Reserve, where it normally earns 3, 4.5. That's super powerful, right? That is, again, for my money, that's the best that you're going to do as far as earning points for travel. And then from a redemption perspective, 50% bonus without having to transfer points and find award tickets is a beautiful thing. Now, speaking of those award tickets, that's a topic that we'll cover in a future video. But just know that the Reserve, the Preferred, any premium product will afford you the opportunity to transfer your points to travel partners. These include United Airlines, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, Marriott, Ritz-Carlton, etc. And when you transfer the points, now you have that brand's currency, right? So it's United Mileage Plus, it's Marriott Rewards, etc. You can start to get some incredible value if you decide to transfer points, especially when you're booking first class, right? A $1,000 first class ticket might cost you 50,000 points, right? So that 50,000 points, $500, now you're getting a 2-to-1 on your money, right? 2 cents per point. That's a super powerful topic. We're going to talk about it more in the future. But now, the point, the major takeaway for this video is that especially if you're just getting started, take a look at the reserve, take a look at the preferred, find which one works best for you, and maybe consider signing up for just the one card, right? The thing I don't recommend is trying to sign up for all 3 products on day one, right? I've built up this sort of collection or portfolio, if you will, over a period of years, right? Such that now I'm maximizing my spending. But understand where you spend money. Consider one of these products if you don't have any of them. And then start spending and paying off that bill every month. You can add cards over time, right? I would probably go Reserve, Freedom Unlimited, Freedom. The Freedom being optional, right? Let me be clear. There's no requirement that you have all 3 cards. It simply allows you to maximize your earnings, but you could have 2 if you wanted. I have 3, but if you listen to the last podcast, you know that the Freedom for me, I don't get a ton of value out of it, and it's actually a card that's on the chopping block for me in 2019. TBD if I'm going to keep it or not. So that's really all I have for today. I appreciate you watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe. I plan on doing a lot more of these. If you didn't like the video, perhaps leave a comment, let me know what you didn't like and how I could improve. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.